Testing sound, 1, 2. Testing sound, 1, 2. Okay, so now I just need to get an IRC terminal up here so I can also see when people talk on IRC. I might have to change that password. I didn't realize I was recording it. So I'm just going to share this link with some friends. If I can find it again. This thing that I'm going to repair is a bit in the way. And I'm also going to ask some people if the sound works and stuff like that, so I know if it is working. So before I get started, I should talk a bit about what it is I'm going to repair. And I haven't really researched what this thing is or how popular it was, and this seems to be a bit of a high-end version because it has the built-in CRT in it as well. There is a version of this one that does not have that you connect to a TV, though it doesn't seem to be any expansion ports on it. Oops, something just fell out. It's the things you put in to keep pages connected. Probably not good at it. That's the power button. That's what I actually think is broken on this thing, but there could be other issues as well, and I think it needs a good cleaning inside. Because it has probably never been cleaned inside. Well, it has been opened because these screws are a bit messed up. Looks like someone has used the wrong screwdriver. And it got a small loudspeaker here and a volume knob here, but it doesn't have any like expansion ports for audio or anything that I've seen. Got a light control here. It has some DIN connector back here, and that could be audio out, but it could really be anything. Like they probably had their own adapter for it or something. That I could probably look that up on Wikipedia, but I'm not going to do that now. Okay, so apparently maybe my sound isn't coming through. Well, I did test it. It could be that I need a new link that it's not this one anymore, but that's weird because I've checked out the computer. So this freaking thing, because I've checked out the computer. Yeah, apparently I had linked the old stream to people instead of the new one, because I got a new one when I adjusted the settings that was wrong. So I guess that before posting a stream link you should, you know, make sure that everything works and all that. But I actually thought it was working, so I'll blame that. I'm going to change the microphone because I don't think that this one is doing that good job. So let's try another one. If I manage. So I'm going to add another audio input capture. So okay, so now I'm using microphones that are right in front of me on this laptop that you see in the small view. Because I'm sitting right in front of the laptop, I think that this will give a much better quality to my voice. Yeah, I'll be glad to have some feedback on that. Yes, so we're back, and I'm still waiting for one more. Well, I'm not going to sit around and wait, but I'm at least delaying a bit to see if a friend will join in also. I got several confirmation that I got sound, so that's always a good thing. Yeah, I'll just send that one link. Maybe. Okay, so now everything is set up. And full quality, whatever that means. I'm sure there are some losses. I like how they have, how it almost becomes a triangular shape just because of how the CRT tube is mounted in there. Yeah, I think it's a monochrome one, but we'll have to get it running before we will know that. I haven't showed the accessories, like it has some big chunky joysticks with some notches, so you can select 8 directions. Kind of looks like radioactive sign in the bottom. Oh, it has an action button also, so it's like a 1 button joysticks. So that's pretty cool. And this is how the video game cassette look. Oops. And to certain cassettes you get like extra keyboards with other functionality. And here is the instruction manual to one of the games. Oops, I'm covering it up. I should really get a better... I should have the zero latency monitor up and not the delayed one. But yeah, I'll better fix that right away. It's easier on me. Let's move this window here. Take this window and move it there. Yeah, I think that will be better. It's a bit small. Can I pop out? Yeah, it got a full screen interface. That didn't really help much. Multi-view windowed. Then I can take this thing and hide it. this thing and move it. Yeah, this is okay, I guess. I should have my monitor in a better place because I can barely see it. Okay, I got some good feedback also with that I would need some more light and stuff, and that's really good because it's good to get the feedback, then I know till next time. And I am working on some better light in here, but I need to get the etching up and running before I can make the boost converter that I'm making for the LEDs that I got. Okay, it seems to have different screws in every hole, so I'm going to get a piece of paper so I can take it down. So I will just draw the thing from its backside like this. And it's got a little thing there and the speaker there, and got some feet here. Will help me know which way I drew this thing. So here we got number 1, and I'll get an array of something. Of course, now I don't find the little things that I had that would be great for this, so I'm just going to take a bunch of small containers, and they will be 1 and so on. I probably need tweezers also to get that thing out. More tools in there. Yeah, this was a completely different one. Like, it's a very big difference of these ones. Let's take this other one here. Yeah, I really need some better light here soon because I have trouble seeing the screws here. I don't really have any light from this general direction that would help. This one was also a number 2. I think there are more than 3 screws that I need to open to get it open. It should be something in this area here. It could be screws under the feet, but I'd rather not rip them off in case they're, unless I'm sure there is.
by carefully bending it a bit, I can get the kind of a feel where it's stuck, and I get it's somewhere here, and it could be in these holes. Let's shine down those. Nothing in that one, what I can see. And here is the picture tube, so nothing to screw anything to there. I guess it could be something on the other side, but the other side is the side that you look at, so I don't think there would be something on that side. Actually, what I see, these are some, let me show them close up. There are 3 little clips here, and it's like a hinge, so that's why it's only screws in the, oops, that's the power button, that's why it's only screwed in the back, or mostly screwed in the back, because that means I can hinge it open somehow. Interestingly, the power button is blocking this action, I think, and they could also be like these buttons may need to be removed. I don't want to damage that button, so I'll take a piece of cloth, dishcloth, and use it before I take the pliers to it. And well, at least the damage should be smaller. I need more area than this thin one. I'm also going to wet it slightly to get a bit better grip. Yanked it right out. Ooh, I see big discrete components in there. Okay, so we're about to open it. So this thing needs to go back. Something is blocking the middle one. Maybe it's easier from this direction. I don't want to, like, you can get tremendous force because of the lever effect, and this is kind of old plastic, so it doesn't really mix that well. Now one of these have opened up here. Let me see if I can. Oh, this is it's slightly heavy. Yeah, you can see there in the other side that one is out, but 2 of the hinges are not. And I haven't really figured out. Now it bit me how to get them out. Maybe there is something I have forgotten, some little fastener somewhere. Or maybe I can help it a bit. You just need a flat screwdriver for that. I think that some of the noise from when I try to record anything in here is just the fact that I have a lot of computers in here with a lot of fans, and I even have lamps with fans. So, and I even have a fan that is just a fan because it's warm. So there is a lot of fans in here. It's the middle one that it doesn't want to slide out, and I don't know why. But the middle one is different because here is a little notch under it, so I think that it needs to be popped. The air it goes. And now we should be able to. Yeah, now it's easy to help it out here. I can show you why it was tricky. Because of that little notch there that the other ones don't have. I've got a little rubber stopper here for the CRT, and the power button is like, where is there? So the power button here, it's a big plastic bent thing here, and I can sort of understand how this part or anything connected to it could break. Okay, so it's mainly dust around where the connector is because it's open down there. Here is a little shielded box. Interesting. I wonder what's underneath. And we got some chips. So yeah, so the main board is mostly under the CRT, and here is just the CRT circuitry. It smells old, but it doesn't smell burnt. Need to see the setting for the monitor. It's here. Which one is up and down? Oh, it's on the other thing. When I start it, I don't want it to be on the fullest brightness because that may not be too good on the CRT, but I don't know which way this thing goes, but I can set it sort of in the middle and go from there. It's interesting that they have this industrial kind of keyboard. It's not a touch keyboard, but it's close to it because it's very, very thin, and you can't. I don't even feel that I'm pressing keys here. That's how thin it is. So this is probably very spill resistant and all that, unless the spill will, propagate down into the rest of the stuff. But just as the keyboard module itself, it's a very neat, typical. Like you find these on old CNC machines and stuff like that also. Very industrial looking. Here is the auxiliary connector. I have no idea where it goes to or what its purpose is. But it got a bunch of cables coming off from the main board. And it also got cables going to the video thing. So no, it goes just beside it. I would guess that it could be some kind of composite out or something, and we're going to check that out when we have seen why this thing is not starting. So there is a power button here, and it's it feels like it has seen better days, and it's clipped in here somehow. looks a bit messy here actually. Are there more clips that holds it? Or how is this thing attached here? Very weird position for it. I need to show you this because this is a bit weird. So the power button. Oh yeah, so oh, this is hard. Where am I even viewing? Alright, my finger was in the way. So the power button is here, under my finger. So it's kind of stuck to this frame that keeps the CRT in place. Oops, wrong window, wrong key. So if I can get this thing off here, should be able to just short it out. Trying to get the cables off the little clips that hold the cables into place, so that it will be easier to get this thing out of here. I have no idea what it's stuck in right now. Like it's stuck into something in here. Alright, the cables go inside and turn around there, I think. Oh, it's like it has PVC tape all around it. That's why I can't get it off. I need to really remove this assembly to get to it then. I was hoping not to do that. Well, I would need to do that anyway. Oh, it just slides. This is really nice. So this thing just... Alright, I think you need to remove the keyboard first. Now the keyboard is probably glued here. But this thing seems to just slide out here. Something is holding it back. We can sort of adjust how deep in this whole assembly is. But it looks like if you take it out far enough, it would just come off here. Oh, I know what's stopping it. It's the power cable. Among things. Okay, I think that these are acting as a stopper here. So you need to push this thing down. Yes, I was right. Oops, got back. Come on, don't go back. Okay, I think I'm past the stops. Nice, we can just put this thing on the side here. Oh, it's dusty. Really tight how they have put cables to the joysticks, like all the way here. So yeah, now we can get to that freaking power button, especially if we can disconnect this wire. Oh, we can. Nice. Oh, it got a really cute little flyback transformer in there. And it got some RGB cables going up to this knob. Interesting. This monitor feeds the power to the rest of the thing as well, so it can be used as a separate unit like this. Well, you'd had to give it some signal, of course, but I mean it's like its own little thing with the power cord right here. So now we can see that this thing has been taped here, and the big question is who taped it there and why? Is it how they made these things? I better get a knife. Starting to get a lot of stuff around me now. Really? Like, it's not even soldered. It's just hooked in there. Seriously? Like that. I need to take a picture of that. If I find something that can take pictures. Oh, that one was terrible. I need to take another one. It's a bit dark here, so let's put some light on. Get shorter exposure so I can be more shaky. So, and let's view that thing. So there's a link to the image, and it's quite disgusting. Like there is solder flux everywhere. It's sticky from the PVC tape. It's completely broken. But the good news is that I might actually have a mechanically compatible switch to put in here, and for this broken switch here, I can actually take that little plastic thing out and put a wire, like a thick metal wire, through it and through the other part, and use a lot of glue, and I should be able to make it pretty sturdy again, or maybe even remove a piece of plastic with a metal pin that would fit there. So that should be so I should be able to get this thing running. So what I want to do now is that I'm going to remove this faulty switch and just plug it right in and see if it works. And I'm going to plug this thing in by itself first, because if this thing is going nuts, I don't want it to fry the other thing. That's probably harder to fix. I wonder what sort of processor this thing have. Now we can actually see this board well. Alright, it got the Intel 8048. I actually read that on Wikipedia yesterday. It doesn't have a lot of stuff on here. It got a few gates on the 74000 series. And then it got some memory and some kind of peripheral control, I guess. This shielded box, I have no idea where it is. Maybe the audio stuff is in here or something. And I'm surprised how little stuff it is in here. Maybe there is more stuff in each cartridge than just a memory. Yeah, I've got some feedback on the solder, and the blue cable is actually, you can just yank it out. It's not even soldered. It's just like it's the very definition of a cold solder joint, because it looks like there is some solder on the wire, but not a trace on the connector. Actually, because there is not a trace on the connector, either this connector have been replaced by someone that didn't know what they were doing, or this unit has been faulty from the beginning. But I don't think that, because if this was from the beginning, it would have been a lot of soot and stuff here, because it would have been on there. And the keyboard is quite used, so I'm pretty sure this PVC tape doesn't really feel like something that would be put in here in the 80s. So I think that someone tried to repair this thing and failed. I'm not even sure if this switch is supposed to handle 230 volts. Yeah, it's rated for it, but it looks like a really crappy switch, and it's really sticky and ew. Cable RF output. No, I haven't seen any RF output on it, and if there were one, it should be in the vicinity of this little box, because I'm assuming that you're talking about the shielded box here. But no, there is really no. I can take a picture on the board so you guys can see. I'm just going to put something heavy for this cable here, and yeah, it's a. Oh my God! Look at that corrosion. Yeah, I need to clean that stuff up. There have been some kind of liquid spill, I think, into where you put the socket, because it's all green and white salts and stuff here, so it doesn't look nice. And a close-up of the corrosion. Upload. No, I can go to this other thing. I'm planning on that. I should get myself a solution where if I'm in a live stream and I take a picture, that I can, in a very easy way, just get it out there instead of having to mess with it. Getting ready to back up 2 photos. What do you need to get ready for? Just do it. Do it. Okay. Press the cloud and the arrow thing. Maybe that helps. It says uploading now. Freaking technology. Okay, so I've added those 2 pictures to the album that are already linked in the comments, so you should be able to see it there. Might need to do some refresh or something. Next step was to power up the monitor part. It's interesting how most of the dust is on the RGB cables. I guess it's some kind of electrostatic phenomena that will make the dust accumulate on certain areas. Other areas are like really clean. Maybe someone has even cleaned this board once, I don't know. It looks kind of clean. On the other hand, I think, yeah, it's have been sitting upside down, so that's why it's clean. Yeah, I will plug it in. I just need to fix this switch as you saw on the picture. Replace it. Well, first I'm just going to bypass it to test this thing. Let's grab the solder iron, do something ugly. So it's a bit tricky when streaming with the communication, because there will be different IRC channels and places together with the YouTube chat, but the YouTube chat is quite, nobody uses that, everyone uses IRC. But I still want it in case someone wanders in and want to ask something. Want to be able to see it. Yeah, so I just cut them off there because that old solder is not nice at all. And because I need to redo this, I could actually just use some yeah, thinking about using something safer than soldering these together, and hope they will not touch anything. Using those screw terminal things. I don't know what you call them in English. In Swedish we call them sockerbit, and that means sugar cube, which causes some confusion sometimes. Let me see if I find any sugar cubes. And a screwdriver here. This adapter looks like it's very special, and I'll probably never figure out what it was used for again. Yeah, I did mirror the top-down view, hoping that it would be more natural, but at least it looks natural to me, because here is the bench, and when I move my hands forward they go up. But if you think that it would be better that it's not mirrored, let me know. I'm not sure, like... Yeah, that's when I move to the right, I move to the left, so it should also be mirrored to the left. It should be rotated and not mirrored. That's where I made. That's the mistake I made. Where did it go now? Oh, that's much better. Thank you for pointing it out. Yeah, I sometimes have bad luck when I'm thinking. I was thinking that, well, if I mirror this one, it will be more correct. But I didn't think of actually trying all the motions. I just tried back and forth where it looked good, but not the right and left. So I think the processor in this thing is like 5 megahertz or something around that, and most likely 8-bit, I guess, like the 8048 or 8040. That's like I never heard of such a processor. I wonder if it's some kind of a risk, or if it's still like, I'm sure it doesn't have floating points or anything like that. Okay, so we got this thing here, and I've broken off. No, it's not plastic. It's a cable thing. So maybe I shouldn't have it right in front of my face when I plug it in. But yeah, okay, here goes. Oh, we have electron emission in the tube, and I hear a high-pitched sound that is quite annoying. I think this thing works. So let's unplug it and let it cool down a little bit. And I have a very short good morning. I'll have a very short intermission here. I'll be back in like 1 minute. Let's see, I'm going to mute this freaking thing. Here it is. So we're back from the short break, and now we are going to plug in the main thing, if I can find it. So we start by plugging the keyboard back in, and I'm going to take this stuff apart again and clean it up. Actually, I shouldn't connect this thing before I've done something about this corrosion. I forgot about that, so let's do that first. There are some weird plastic clips on top of here, but we'll get to that. So let's put this thing away for now, so we get some more space. Cables are amazingly good at getting caught in stuff. We can put some spare parts in here. And on the fourth thing, so let's make an inside view here with the keyboard, speaker, the board, and the little board. Everything is out of proportions, but never mind that. So that screw there is number 4, and that seems to be the only screw. I like the design that they have not that many screws, that most things gets locked in place in other ways, except when you break one of these clips, then it kinda sucks. But it's good because you can quickly open one of these, like if you were to service a lot of these in a day, like if it was in the 80s and this was a common thing. Okay, it's kinda hard to get those wires out of there. Let's remove this small board also. Yeah, I'll put that one in 3. Small board 3. what is it stuck in now? It got 7407 on it, and some cobweb. Yeah. Okay, so the speaker is kind of in the way here. Brown on the left and white on the right. And now when this thing is loose, we should be able to get these cables away, and it will be annoying to get them back. Let's remove this small board as well, so that we get everything loose. It has one screw. And it's a number 3 kind of a screw. Yay! So let's put this thing away. The backside looks good. One interesting thing that I've seen a lot of old stuff is that sometimes bigger traces look like they're all bubbly. I don't know what causes this. I think I may have had it explained to me at some point but forgot it. So they look like wrinkly. A closer look on the... Yeah, let's remove these. It has some little plastic clips to hold the cables in place. That's pretty neat. And one of them is replaced with a piece of zip tie. But it looks like it could have been put in place in the 80s. The last cable is longer. Maybe they didn't have this type of clips for the longer cables or something. Or wider, I should say. It's a bit yellow, where this plastic may just fall, crumble and fall to pieces, but I could always replace it with zip ties that would crumble and fall into pieces way faster than how old this thing is, because cheap modern zip ties, they don't really last long, especially not if they get exposed to sun or stuff like that. Okay, so now we can see a bit better here. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to first remove these, I think, and then clean up around them and then solder them back on. I'm pretty sure this is not lead-free solder, which makes this much easier. I'm just going to get a solder sucker because there is quite a lot of solder in here. Maybe we can get a little better view here. No, it's not a good resolution on that thing, but maybe you see something. I hope you do. Wow, it's really not bright enough here. I can get some extra light if I tell this thing that is doing a silent scanner to instead be white. Yeah, I'll probably have to block the view with my head, because I would have to sit close to this to see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm just going to try to get it done so we can get to see it in action. That's much more interesting. It's interesting. It's a lot of it's very big hole compared to the size of the wire. I think that has to do with when they mount them, that it's much easier to get them to be where they're supposed to. That also means that there is a lot of solder in these holes. So I'm going to mark these or write it down. Little shielded thing, little wheel, little notch, and here are the first gray cable. I've got a blue thing there, and it goes to the right console, right called joystick port, and the other one, it does also have a blue marking thing. And it goes to the left one, and the other two can't really be mixed up, though they have a black marker thing that I should mark. So that's, put that in there. So now I know the orientation, if I can decipher my sketchings. It's something about 80 solder that I think it smells really nice. It has a bit of what do you call the stuff that comes out of pine trees? It has that quality in the smell, I think. Resin, I guess it's called. I don't know how bad 80s solder is, but it feels more natural, I think. Like it's more pleasant to work with it. Probably more toxic, but it's more pleasant. But when working on this board, it also gives off some smells that smells kind of chemical and not pleasant. But it does take me back to my childhood when I was mostly just breaking electronics, but I eventually started to learn things. One cable to go. Never leave this in this state, because then the spring is compressed all the time, and eventually it will start to be less springy. They are all free. So yeah, the backside, it didn't look like it had a problem. It looks nice. Yeah, I need better light, I know. Like, I have a project for that. Just kind of entangled in everything here, but it sits with fish wire after that thing. But it's two 20-watt white COB LEDs, and here is my home build switch boost converter for it. But so yeah, so it still needs some more work. But I think that will be an excellent light source, and I want to have this so I can put it in different places or build more of them. I have a lot of these heat sinks just lying around. Maybe it is a good thing that you don't see me well. Yeah, so here is the horrible top side of this. So first I'm going to just clean it with 2-propanol, the general area around here, and then I'm going to I see some traces that may be ruptured, so we need to test those and possibly fix them. But it's a lot of space to work on here. It will be very it's not like there will be a QFN somewhere where you need to get something to a really small thing on the side, or a BDA. So here's the 2-propanol, and I'll take a piece of cloth. Some things are not dissolved by 2-propanol and are better dissolved by water, and since I'm going to clean this out anyway, and that I won't leave any water in here, then I can use water together with my 2-propanol. That will also make this cloth behave more cloth-like. So this is how it looks right now, and if I just do some quick, I'm going to do more. It's a big difference already. You can see the damage better also. I might actually have to remove this game socket because I see a lot of corrosion on that too. But this corrosion, I don't think that anything is burnt. I think this will run just fine if it's all fixed up. Though I don't know if how much the guy that owns this thing wants me to, how much effort to put into getting it working, but it's not that too much of an effort, and I really want to see it working, see if this will fix it. I'm actually cleaning away this white color a bit that's around here. I think this white, it could be some extra protection. It's not very good though, because it has flaked away in a lot of places. It's weird because it looks like they have actually cut out access to vias, because around the vias in the white field it looks like manually cut little polygons to get at them. That's weird. So yeah, I'm going to clean up the solders here and see how many traces that are dead. So let's have some excess flux. The solder I use have flux inside of it, but I'll just add some extra to it because it's so dirty there. Now these holes get filled, of course, but I can suck out the solder from it later. Wow, this is really bad. I think I need to mechanically scrub this area clean before I can solder anything to it. And then I'm going to also take some solder wick to this. looks pretty okay, I think. I'm going to take a pic. Ew, what's this? There is some goo here. It's green in color. I think it's what I cleaned off the board, that I got some of the solder mask with it as well, combined with dust and all kinds of nasty stuff. Upload the photos. I should have updated the album now with a close-up of where I've cleaned here, and I've just cleaned the leftmost piece, and I could probably clean it even more. The traces here, they look pretty bad, but it could be just the surface that is bad, so I need to measure them. It is okay, it seems. That one too. So those seem to be okay, that's good. And those were the ones looking the worst, I think. Is this actually a trace? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's mostly just dirty, but this connector needs to come off and be cleaned. Oh, it looks horrible in the back now when I clean the front. I'm going to use solder to clean this now because I don't have a nice excess of flux that I could apply here. So by applying a bunch of excess solder instead, it will make the dirt slag up on the sides and on top of it instead of on the pad. And also the mechanical action helps a bit to like rub off or grind off oxides. This one looks pretty good, but I'm going to do it anyway. If these holes were sorry, that's Swinglish. If these holes were smaller, then I'd use, then I wouldn't use this solder sucker at all, because it's tedious and you can actually suck the pad right off the board also. But there is so much solder in here, and I don't have that much solder wick left, so I would use it all up, and I may not be able to finish. This is good training for the thumb. I also have 2 springs instead of 1 in this to make it suck a bit harder. I think it's good if I can get rid of the oxide at the places where it's have attacked the traces, even if it hasn't done any damage now. I think that if I leave it there, it's more prone to long-time damage than if I would clean it up. But that's just a guess I have. Ooh, nice. That makes such a difference. Oh, now I've done it. I ripped some of the trays off there. This might actually be the RGB traces. So that would kind of suck. But it's not like I'm going to leave it broken, I'm going to fix it, of course. So let's cut this trace off. And we're going to put a small wire there instead. It's kind of messy on here, I don't like that. Yeah, that trace is like a small trace that does not have any solder mask on top of it. It's just a free running trace, very thin one. It will not stick to these old boards. They will easily come off. So one have to be careful, but on the other hand, these are so dirty that to clean them you can't be too careful. So I think that it's probably okay that I rip some of them off as long as I put something different back. Yeah, that'll probably do. I'm going to remove that big connector. See how because I think that under it could be a lot of stuff hiding, because stuff have obviously been running down that connector. I bet this port is similar to like an 8-bit ISA port that will probably have address and data on the same lines and will strobe address or data with the pin. Yeah, that's right, I'm fixing burp. Yeah, so one side is mostly sucked. I forgot I fetched something to drink, but I never even tasted it. Sugar. You get extra training when something gets stuck here and you use it multiple times quickly to get it clean. I actually think it's a bit bad for this tendon here because I don't know what you call it, but it's the thing that pulls in the finger. It will jump all over the knuckle, and after a while it will be painful. So ideally I have some, if I would do this a lot, it would be nice with some, where you just had a hose and a pedal, and you push the pedal and it would do its thing. This also has some kind of mechanical fastener here where they have also bent the pins to make it even harder to remove it. Not that they have made it very hard to remove, but yeah, so let's get rid of that. It looks like most of these are still not loose enough. This one is loose. I'm heating up each pin a bit so it gets loose from the side, and then I wiggle it a bit so that so I make a very cold solder joint on purpose so that it will not be sitting very well. Though in some cases it could be useful with the solder wick, like if it's a bit too much in here and I can't suck it out. Or you can add more, like here I have two ones that are hard, so I just add more to fill it in, because I can't suck it out if it's not filled in, because then the air will not get a good hold of it. Yeah, I think that's better. They seem to be rather loose now. And by wiggling it a bit, you can see which ones that move and which ones are stuck. Actually, I'm going to put this in so I don't have to mess with it. I'm going to put it in a little vise. They all seem to move. Oh, this looks horrible. Yes, this little thing that keeps it in place. I guess they snap it. I think they bend that thing to place when they soldered these. This shielded box is shielded on the backside too. That's interesting. And I can spot some surface mount stuff in there. I'm very curious what's under here. Okay, so the backside under that connector looks nice now. Yeah, I'm glad I removed it. I'm going to take a close-up on that too and add to the album. If I find my phone. There it is. Such a mess. Okay, let's see if I can figure this one out. So I need to go to the Photos app, and then I need to go to the last photo, cloud it, and then add to album, shared album. Come on, phone. Now it created a new shared album. That was not what I told you to do. You didn't specify that was a new, you just said shared. Add to album. Oh, create new. I didn't read right. So it should be shared 4 items. That's the one. Okay, so now the album has a new picture on it with the close-up of this mess here. It's horrible. Already looks better. I'm getting to the end of this solder wick, and it's a bit messed up near the end. wick this backside too. Okay, so take more cloth, clean it, get it everywhere, cause a fire hazard. We have some holes that are not open. And I'm going to refill them and suck them out. I'm actually going to do it to most of them because I didn't get it that good. The Burp Necros. It's a vintage video game from Philips. It's called a video pack. It's a video pack G 7200, and you can find it on Wikipedia if you want to see how it looks when it's assembled. Or you can rewind the stream a bit. Yeah, I don't know how the graphics looks on this. I saw some pictures and it looks... I think it's raster graphics on this one. But I don't know. Maybe it isn't. Aha. Yeah, okay. Have you seen the album that I posted with? You could see it in the comment stream. I don't know if it shows old comments when you connect to the stream. And there is an album with some pictures of this board. Okay, I'll relink it then. Copy link address. Photos of burp. What? YouTube redirect? Yeah, that... I don't know if that link will work. You can try it. All these little resistors are here. It's like a little instrument. There is some damage here too, but it doesn't look too bad. I think I just can clean it off a bit. Actually, I should check that part out a bit. I'm so curious about the shielded box. I bet it's some of the high frequency signals, like maybe the video or something is handled in there. And I think the SMDs I saw, that was probably just something I wanted to see or something. I'm not sure they are actually there. Okay, so let's clean off the table a bit. So apparently some cats don't like the resistor scrubbing sound. That may come in useful someday. When you are all surrounded by cats and all you have is a video pack to protect you. I think I just want to hook this stuff up now and see if it works, and then I can clean it some more if it does. Though these look a bit horrible, I'll probably cut the ends of these and tidy them up a bit. I wonder what's the best way to get rid of the cover of these. I haven't really worked with these types of cables before. They seem to be a bit tricky to take the shroud or whatever you call it off. This might be good. this looks nice. We'll do it like that. Double check that I connected it correctly. Little thing is over there. And alright, it's like that. Oh, it's like that. Alright, so the black marker should be on that end. That doesn't make sense. Or does it? Oh right, from this end it's... No, it's from this end. I think I drew it in a weird way. This one can only be here because of the number of things, and it was, I'm pretty sure, oh, here it says 1 and there it says 1, so yeah, it's wrong. Alright, this one was sitting upside down. That's why. So yeah, it's sitting upside down and therefore it's soldered from that direction. But it's still like that. Okay, one thing connected. Then we have these little things. No, they were lost. Or were they? Yeah, this thing was first. So then the traces I thought could be RGB traces or not, because they go to the controllers. And the one is marked out here, so that's very good. But this doesn't look nice at all, it's really messy. The corrosion has actually climbed up inside of this cable a bit, but I think that if I just use an excess of solder first, it will clean off the corrosion. I'm going to try that anyway. That didn't really help. I need to mechanically scrub them, and I need to take a bit more off here also. And maybe under here it's clean. We don't know that yet. Oh, it has the microcontroller is actually it's actually a microcontroller, not a processor. That is the core of this thing. It's being discussed a bit on our IRC. It looks nice under here, so that's nice. Nice indeed. Yeah, it having a microcontroller instead of a CPU explains why there were so little peripheral circuitry on the board. Like usually with the type, like if it was an 8088 or something, this part of the board here would probably be twice as many things or even more, because you'd have your DMA controller and stuff like that. But yeah, in this thing you don't really need that. Or maybe not DMA, but at least an interrupt controller and a keyboard controller and a whole bunch of different ones. Here I guess the microcontroller does most of the work itself. So before I can connect the next one, I should repair that track. So I'm going to take 2 pictures of that. I'll upload them both at the same time. Use a piece of wire and take one of the strands. I'm using pretty thick strands now because it's a roomy board, so we might as well make it easy on ourselves. Well, if we have more cozy lights, then we will see even less what we're doing. I'll just answer things I read, and you guys have to figure out in what it was a response to. I should have done this before I had all this stuff around here being in the way. So this is the strand I'm going to use. So yeah, okay. A friend said that he is not hearing me because he haven't installed Pulse Audio yet. So, yeah, I might be finished before that is installed. There can be some caveats getting it to work the way you want it to work. So this is how it looks now. And, snap a peek. No, okay, let's create new, add to shared 5 items, and that one, add, shared, that one. Okay, so the album should be updated with 2 more pictures. I'll be right back, and I'll just turn the audio off here for a second. So I am back. And these trays have been repaired. Yeah, I should check that it's actually been repaired. It goes into a via, and then it goes into there. Or there. Or there. Oh, it goes like that. Okay. Next one. Yeah, I think those traces are okay. They look bad, but they are okay. So next thing to connect is the two controllers. Though we don't really need them to just verify the function of this thing. I'm sure it will start playing some whatever was spilled on this is also present on these cables. Actually, I'm just going to clean these off and have it done with. I'm sure this is not the best technique to do this, but it seems to be working to some extent. Still some corrosion, but not so much that I think it's a problem. This one is worse. We'll have to take a bit more of it off and hope that it's long enough, otherwise we'll have to replace the entire cable with something else. Yeah, it looks better in here. Hopefully it's long enough. We will notice that when everything is put in place. Okay, so clean off the table again. Take the board. And we had the left one. They're actually... No, they're not. The left one is... Right, so when this one is like this, then this one is the left one. So that's this one. And that's the... Okay, so it should be like that. And this one has been... I guess it was like this. Yeah, that makes sense. Need to hold the one where I fix the trays down a bit. I'm actually going to add some extra solder on top there to make sure that the loose wire is not loose anymore. So let's do that first. So let's solder these joystick connectors. And now this wire could have moved, so we need to triple check it. I'm just going to cut away some excess here. Yeah, it looks okay. Like, so this one's set like this, and these are, yeah, okay, it will kinda work out, I guess. We don't really need all the other stuff. We can just take this and the monitor and hook it all up and see if it works. We should put this thing up on something so that this wheel is more accessible. This. This cassette might be a bit corroded, and also I haven't put this connector back. But if it has a ROM, perhaps it will show something if we start it without this thing, because I will need to have to clean this connector out before we can try that. I don't really have a good way of cleaning this one other than trying to mechanically scrub it clean and maybe use some 2-propanol and stuff and hope for best. So let's connect the burp, and this burp is made to be upside down. So now I'm grabbing it where it could still be residual energy. That kind of sucks, but I survived. Okay, so maybe we should put the tube in the front. Okay, something like this, and perhaps there will be something happening here. Ooh, it shows some weird thing. Woohoo! Oh, it's so bright. Let's turn it down a bit. Okay, so check it out. Some of these are characters, 4, 8, 2, W. It got some interesting wavy patterns going on. I don't really know. I guess that's the... I mean, it works well enough so that the rasterizer can rasterize stuff. I have no idea why it's so wavy. That's interesting. I wonder if we'll get a different state if we reboot it. Yeah, it's not exact same. So maybe it's that when you boot it without a ROM in it, or one of these, it will just go nuts. I mean, that's quite possible that it doesn't detect that this one is not connected. So this is just... if that is the case, then me messing with the address bus or data bus should probably be able to influence it in perhaps taking on another state. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm going to clean the connector so we can try it with the ROM, see if it will work. Connector. And we're also going to pop up this ROM open and see if it's damaged inside also. It looks like there has been some spill on top of here as well. I'm not really sure how to open this one. It's probably some plastic clips thing. They're probably not meant to be serviced. I don't see any screws or anything. Or... no, nothing under the label. It looks a bit hingy up here. Cool, it's got a metal shroud that protects the board inside. Yeah, I think we can probably put the shroud back and clean out the ROM a bit. I'm going to put this one with some 2-propanol inside a box and just shake it around a bit and see if that helps anything. I also need to get the charger from the phone and try to avoid stumbling at things. to put this, just throw it down there. The joysticks probably will have to be taken apart and cleaned also, but we don't need to do that right now. Yeah, right, the connector. So I'm just going to take this box here, put it there, put some 2 propanol in here. And then just shake it up a bit. There is a big fire hazard with this, but when I open this it will be full of flammable vapors coming out here. I'm also going to attempt some mechanical scrubbing on there, maybe with a cloth. Close this one so it's less risk of ignition. Dry cloth is better here because it the other one just bends. It looks like it's actually helping a bit, at least the corrosion that is where the contact needs to be made. Let's also take some cotton here and some 2-propanol. Wish I had an ultrasonic cleaner. Still some stuff up there, but I think the connection will be good in either case though. But leaving it there could cause it to corrode more in the future. Though this type of connector, it's not that hard to get. Like these are common in the industry. You can get these today, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal to replace it altogether. It's not like it's expensive or anything. I mean, comparative to connectors in general, maybe a bit expensive, but compared to what it would cost if I would charge for all these hours. Right, so let's put that over there and put the thing in. Seems to be rather symmetrical. It's interesting how they haven't used any screws to put it in place. I guess there's so much solder holding it in place that you don't need the screws, and but on the other hand, you pull these cassettes up and down. This thing is probably quite expensive. I mean, it does have a CRT monitor built into it, but I think it also that some aspects of it are a bit cheap, like the low-end microcontroller and that stuff. It seems a bit unbalanced, I think. But I don't know. I don't know much about the video game consoles at the time. It's like a centimeter of solder for each hole. They fit so much. Or maybe half a centimeter. So let's give it a new try. We should connect the speaker also. I mean, it is a sound. It is a music program that I've put in there. Yeah, something has been spilled down this. Nice, you get sound working. Connect the little tiny mono speaker and the CRT. Oh. And that one connector that goes to the CRT. Felt like I got it there. Okay, so before I connect this, I should probably move the laptop so you guys can see. Oops, all the stuff is falling everywhere and everything is entangled in everything. Okay, so let's see here. Something, oops, like that. Now it's a bit bright in here. Let me fix that. I have a script I can run on the lamp to make it turn off. Maybe it will be a bit better now. So time to connect this thing. It's a bit different. And it looks a bit more straight also. That's weird. I wonder what made that happen. Doesn't seem to be making any noise. I wonder if the keyboard has any functions that we need in order to start this thing. Doesn't really look like that. You don't see what's on it. Let me try to make sure that you do. That's not better. I need to put something under the chair. Now I see it a bit. Wish I had some shortcut for my Video for Linux controls and I could adjust the exposure time a bit. That's what I call sharing a screen. So let's restart it. I need to connect something and press something. It even made a bloop bloop sound. Let's turn off more lights in here. If I can reach that thing, I can stabilize here. That's never going on. Oh, it still looks horrible. Wow. It's the actual monitor that is... it's the light from the monitor, right? Yeah, it is. So... if I could turn the monitor off. That's like exit S something. I could go to a completely black. Yeah, I can take something black in full screen. Now I just don't see if it's good. So let's connect one of the joysticks. And it only has one button, so Maybe I need to connect the keyboard. It's weird that it says select game, but there are no options. Let's take the solder station away for a bit. Yeah, we could do it like that, I think. Okay, this is not ideal, but it might work. All freaking cables are connected to each other. Dang it. Okay, now it doesn't do anything again. So I think I select with the numbers. Actually, I do have the thing here. So let's see. Reset. Always start with reset. The music cassette memory is now completely erased. Then choose language. 2 is English. It will now turn green and show notes, and you can play. I wonder if we can. Yeah, we have melodies in here. Eurovision's melody. What? The entertainer. How do we access the melodies? We need to do that. Oh, they are in note. Do I have to put them in manually? Can't I just load some? Yeah, you can play and then play it back, I guess. Oh, there are 3 melodies built in. 5, 6, or 7. And then we need to find how to play. What is transposition? I need to go to how to play. Press 3. I don't hear anything. 5, 6, or 7 are built-in thing. Oh, 4. No? Okay, use the play from frame, and that's 4. So you should be able to just first load the thing, it's loaded, then just 4. Can we reset this thing? Oh, this is so weird, like it disappears. Now I have loaded something, I want to play it. It should be just 4. Maybe it's 3. Or 2. Is that a metronome? Okay, I think we should end here, and I need to put it all together and that stuff, and then we can play a bit with it, I guess. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to try to figure out how to turn off the stream.